Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fabs in the house. And today I've got the Rike Knives Knight here with me for a review. And as usual, we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this guy. But if you like the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you enjoy the content, just give me a thumbs up. This is a very big knife, I have to say, because if you check the size of this bad boy, it's gonna be close to 9 inches when open, and it's going to be 8.6, 8.7 inches overall, with a almost 4-inch long blade with a cutting edge of 3.6 and a 5-ish long handle, so it's not a small knife whatsoever. For example, this is up against his buddy over here, the Rike 2-leg, which is a tad bigger than that. And also, we can put it up against another big boy, which is the Shirogorov F95 Custom Division White Tiger. And let's see, up against some classic ones, Spyderco Para 3, Spyderco Para Military 2. Look at this. PM2 smaller than this guy. Another couple options we have in the house, TRM Neutron and TRM Atom. Again, smaller than the Knight. Another couple classic comparison knives. We have this Ontario Rat number 1 and Ontario Rat number 2. So this guy, it's a tad longer than the Ontario Rat number 1, which is already a beast of a knife. So you can see why this guy is not that small. And what else we can show you guys? Look at this. Koenig Knives, Arius, and Hinderer Knives, XM18. This is the 3.5 inch. Of course, let's show this guy since we have Damasteel. Why not? Holt Bladeworks Spectre V2 Prestige in the house. Just a beautiful knife. What else can I show you? Since we're talking about fancy blades, of course, Kirby Lambert, Rain, full custom, dragon skin, carbo quartz, zirconium. I mean, this is just a beauty. And something smaller, because you want to see maybe some up against something smaller. This is the CVV McKenna with black Damascus, and this is the Concept Knives Gremlin. Like this is like dwarfing this smaller knives. What else can I show you? Look at this. This is some gorgeous Chris Reeve knives in Cosi in the house. And something smaller just to show you. Spirograph, Chris Reeve knives, small Sebenza 21. And you have the idea of how big this guy is at this point. Because this is, it's big, but it's pretty light because of the titanium, because of the these pockets, not really pockets, this like cutouts milled out from the chunk of titanium. So interesting design of this knife overall, because there's a lot of milling going on. You have a lot of stuff going on the handle itself. You can see that there's milling lines all over the place, not on the backspacer, but on these surfaces you have these, you can see maybe, yeah, like you see they're subtle. You have 3 cutouts, you have very extensive rounded off milling on the edges over here, indentation going on over here, huge chamfering going on in this part. On the inside as well, there's some inner chamfering going on. You don't have internal skeletonization because it's already skeletonized, like with holes. And you have these 2 holes basically matching with the lock side. And of course, this part over here is not matching. You just have like a kind of cutout, but it's not drilled throughout because of the presence of the lock bar. But it's pretty cool because when it's closed, you can actually see the Dama steel peeking through these holes in both sides. So that's an interesting thing. You've got a nice 3D mill titanium backspacer with an integrated lanyard hole, some jimping right over here on the back. You've got a little bit of jimping right up top here. Jimping going on in the flipper tab, which is the classic Rike with a hole through and rounded off flipper tab. So I mean, very elaborated handle, titanium, nicely done. I have to say, it has an acquired taste. Of course, it's not for everyone. I'm personally not a fan of holes in the blade, but this one I had to check it out because it was so unique and it was attracting me. So also, like for example, you have a stainless steel lock face insert right over here. You have a nice cutout here to release the lock bar with ease. It's very, very simple to access the lock bar. You've got an internal lock bar cutout. You have extremely simple takedown procedure for this guy. Basically, you've got T8 for everything that is here, which is pivot, these two screws, and just these two screws. So really straightforward. You can even check my disassemble and maintenance video for this guy if you need to, but it's very, very easy, and you just need one Torx bit. The hardware is not protruding, it's flush with the handle, and it's titanium blue anodized. I mean, come on guys, this is something cool. You've got the Rike Knives logo engraved in the pivot, which is flush right over here, and it's spinning. So just remember that, and overall, I mean, it's nicely done. The clip is interesting. It's kind of like has a ceramic ball over here, which reminds me of a bag knives. Probably they had licensed this one. Titanium. It's a little bit on the stiff side. It's not reversible, so it's gonna have to be mounted only on this side right over here. And if you check the blade, you've got a pretty cool blade. Look at this. This is kind of like a dense twist pattern going on. It's nicely done. It has some nice jimping going on right over here at the top, and then you have lateral swedge, so kind of like a deep chamfering going on both sides, and then you have this kind of like a tanto shape. So it's very interesting. You have a belly up to here and then straight edge up to here, but this side is kind of like a tanto. It's not straight, so belly 35%, and you can see here that there's like a bevel going on. This is a flat grind, polished, mirror polished blade. The edge is almost perfectly symmetric, but it's really thin behind the edge, this blade. Look at this, nice sharpening choil, and which serves as a full finger choil. So you're going to be able to choke up 100%. You have a nice fuller cutout kind of thing, which you can use to deploy like as a spidey flick right over here, or you can just use like two hands and use like this as a huge nail nick, or just deploy it like a light switch like that, or just push button right over here. So really clean look for this blade. There's nothing going on. The only thing you're gonna see is the logo right over here. Nice ricasso. Look at that, how extended back is with this abrupt plunge grind to touch like this line here for the ricasso right there. Very cool design. I like this this overall look, and I like how this matches this line when closed, and this is just matching this line right here, but it goes down and protects your finger from touching the tip with this extended backspacer right over here. The sound this guy makes, look at this. Very short sound, very clicky. and unobtrusive and dampened when closing. It's nice. It's kind of like a delicate. You would expect something brutal from a knife this big, but no, it's very gentle. And look, I mean, it's very interesting. Absolutely. I like the acoustics of this one. So this is going to be like around $250 US, something in that ballpark. Correct me if I'm wrong. The prices are changing constantly. But for this price, I have to say I am impressed. The amount of work that went on in the handle is pretty solid. And you've got 4 ounces of weight in your pocket with like almost 4-inch long blade. So not too shabby, eh? And of course, there's the handle is designed in a way where here it might have some hot spots depending on how strong you choke the handle, but it's not like pointy, so it's not that obnoxious, I would say. You would feel a little bit actually from this area over here. It's a little bit sharp, so if you tend to choke up a little bit and not use the finger choil, you're gonna feel a little bit this pointy area over here, but if you do more advanced grip, you're good to go. If you do reverse grip, also is gonna work nicely. You're gonna feel a little bit this ball over here, but nothing too crazy going on. So you've got some nice jimping over here. You can choke up. The texture is gonna make this handle grippier, so it doesn't feel slippery at all. You don't have any gaps going on in the build, in the construction, sorry, and it's well put together. There's no rattling. Clip ramp is a little bit on the stiff side. It's the fit and finish is nicely done. I have to say also the deployment speed is pretty fast. If you do a light switch, that's your best bet. If you do a push button, it's a little bit slower. If you do nail nick, it's of course slower. This guy is running on bearings. And I believe there's stainless steel washers on the inside between, like sandwiching between the titanium handle and the bearings. The only thing that this guy has is the detent, which is on the weak side. So you can fail this guy, like you see, you can easily fail this guy because of the weakness of the detent, but you just do a light switch, or you just apply a little bit more pressure for the push button deployment mechanism, and you're gonna be good to go. So that's the only thing that I can say, let's say, bad about this knife over here. It's the detent strength is a little bit on the light side. You can't touch the blade. It's nicely built, pretty easy to release the lock bar. Zero lock stick because of the stainless steel insert. There is no detent ball ramp, so a little bit of hard step and action. I mean, guys, would you look at this? This is a smooth knife. Look at that. It's really good. So I like it. The detent suction is, I mean, it's all right. From this height, you have a little bit of a magnetic effect, but overall, this is a pretty cool knife, looking good. It has this futuristic look, so it's not for everyone, but I get it. It might have an acquired taste. A nice blade, Damascene steel, titanium frame lock, titanium hardware. Pretty cool sound, very quiet, and nice grip, and very nice action. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.